Tis the Clown, BBC Radio, Suffolk, Smokey Robinson, and The Miracles, of course. Now, if you were listening yesterday, you would have heard me having a chat with the poet Dean Parkin, who's writing a series of poems for Suffolk, and he's put one of them, or made one of them, into a little mini-movie, into a film, The Man in the Blue Overalls, which tells the story of Suffolk-based farmer Ronnie Bennett, who has lived most of his life in Carlton Colvert. It's a lovely video, lovely imagery, fantastic music. The poem is lovely as well. If you want to see the full video, go to our Facebook page. You'll find a link to it there. So that poem was inspired by a gentleman by the name of Ronnie Bennett, who spent most of his life as a farmer in Carlton Colville. I spoke to him earlier on today, and as I was reliably informed that he'd be sitting in his car yesterday listening to that poem and the interview with Dean, I started off my chat to him asking a pretty obvious question. Did you hear it on the radio yesterday?
I did. I was sitting in the car.
What did you think of hearing your kind of story immortalised in poetry?
Yeah, I thought it was quite nice. I thought Dean made a good job of that.
So he came to interview you, didn't he?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, he came up and we had a chat, and we told him a few things, and he put it in a nice little poem.
So the language he uses is sort of really, really evocative. Are any of those sort of words your words? Is he quoting you on some of them?
Yes, I think he is. Got the old Suffolk accent is sort of gradually dying out, and that.
So tell me the story, because how did Dean find out about you, and how did it come by that you two got together and had the interviews?
Well, I suppose I've known Dean all his life, really, because I mean his mother lived down the bottom of the garden, and we used to lean over the fence and have a chat. And Dean used to play football, and so I've known him quite a while, really. But then he sort of got into poetry, and he said he'd like to do a poem on Suffolk.
So what did you think when he sort of said he wanted to interview you and write a poem sort of based around you? What was your first thoughts about that?
Well, a bit surprised, really. Why he chose me, I don't know. I suppose there isn't many sort of locals or Suffolk people left about here now. Most of them, all the elderly sort of died, and a lot of the other ones moved away. So there isn't many locals about here now. So
tell me about the video as well, because there was a film made to accompany the poem, and that features you as well. So tell me about the filming of that.
Yes, he came on. He said he'd like to do a bit of film, and he said he'd like to see the animals, like to see the cows and the tractor. And he just turned up with his cameraman, and he said what he'd like. He said he'd like to get these animals in, and we had a little while out doing that, and it was most enjoyable, quite interesting.
He said one of the cows was a bit of a method actor and would just get into the zone and then act kind of on cue.
Oh yes, yeah. Yes, they're lovely friendly ones. I could say we were walking about and talking to him, and one arm sort of looked at the camera and, wanted to be a film star there. How they sort of took to the camera, really.
Yeah. So finally, I think that you were saying about the Suffolk accent and a lot of the words and what have you. There is something very kind of nostalgic about the poem and the film as well. I think a lot of our listeners would certainly be taken down memory lane by it. Do you think that's?
I think so. Yes. I said to Dean, I said, why did this poem take off so much? And he said, yes, because that sort of brought back memories. There were sort of childhood days, or they knew people like that, and aunts and uncles, and just sort of brought back memories to them.
Well, it's lovely to talk to you, and by taking part in those interviews and by being the inspiration for that poem, you're actually helping to keep the Suffolk dialect alive, which must be a great feeling.
Oh, I didn't realise that.
That's true. So there you go, Ronnie Bennett there, lovely chap, inspiration for that marvellous poem, The Man in the Blue Overalls. So by taking part, Ronnie, that's exactly what you're doing. So it was lovely speaking to him, and you can check out the poem and the accompanying video. You can see Ronnie, you can see The Man in the Blue Overalls if you go to the BBC Suffolk Facebook page.